Hey, I'm just reaching out to talk to you about my podcast, How to Write Good. So, How to Write Good, the reason why I started the podcast, because everybody nowadays has a podcast, but I have a very specific reason why I ended up doing it. Because if there wasn't this reason, I wouldn't have. When I started looking around for podcasts, I wanted to find a podcast that dealt with more of the philosophy of writing. When I looked around at podcasts, I found tons of podcasts that told me technical advice, right? It said, hey, this is how you should do this thing. It said, hey, try not to do adverbs. This is how you can make your writing flow better, etc. Different things like that. And my desire is always to look at basic principles. So I'm kind of that guy who's always trying to find the principles behind everything else. And then I want to figure out how I'm going to do that, how it's going to work. And I'm going to be able to do it on my own. And the reason why I believe that, or the reason why I like that so much, is because I believe that everybody's writing style is different, but I believe there are specific principles that allow writing to happen in everybody's life. So I wanted to find those principles so that I could find my way of writing, my style of writing. So about 3 years ago now, which kind of sounds crazy, I started How to Write Good. It was through a podcast network. And then about a year and a half ago, I broke away from that network. I continued to do the podcast. It was more off the cuff. It was something that I outlined, but it was a bit longer. So I stopped that. As of now, it's been a couple months since I haven't been doing that. To a certain degree, it's been really nice. I'm going to be starting that up again, but in a different format. The format I'm going to be taking is very short. It's going to be scripted. Some people might not like that, but it's just for my sanity. I still like being able to get things out like that, but it's going to be scripted. It's going to be like 5-minute videos. It's going to be very quick. You're going to be able to listen to it. Then you're going to be able to be like, hey, that's good writing advice. And then you can apply it right away. And you don't have to sift through my brain, because I think some people, when they listen to my podcast, they had to sift through all the things I was saying because I was just having fun, you know? So, if you are someone who likes things more long form, I've got a few different things that I have planned. I want to make it a regular thing that I'm doing long form interviews with people. That isn't something that's going to happen right away. I'm going to try to get a few people who I know or who I've connected with, who I can bring in, and we can have discussions about specific writing things. But in general, it's going to be shorter. Besides that, I'm going to be putting out different book reviews about books I like, why I like them, and I'm going to take a more analytical approach with those books. It's not just going to be me saying, hey, I like this book, you should check it out. It's going to be me saying, hey, I like this book, this is why you should check it out, and then I'm going to be going into a little bit more depth about those books, why I think it's good writing, the high points, the low points, etc. I'm not going to be giving away the end of the book. So those are a couple ideas that I have planned in the future, but initially on July 1st, that's when the first episode is going to come out. It's going to be a launch, so it's going to be actually multiple episodes coming out over multiple days, like in a row. I don't know if it's going to be 5 or 10 as of yet, but it's at least going to be 5, so look out for that. If you want to follow me on social media so you're aware of all that stuff coming out, you can check my website, danielpoppy.com, and you can click on whichever social media you prefer. Again, if you ever want to get in touch with me, there's a contact form on my website. But besides that, I just wanted to reach out. I hope this information is useful to you. And I hope you do check out How to Write Good. You know, you can check out how it was, and then you can see how I changed it once July hits, if it hasn't hit already.